understand was that the bank then got into big.
Hello, it's Rebecca Robertson, Director and IFA of Evolution Financial Planning, and I'm here with this is Emily, and the reason I think Emily is so lovely because my daughter is called Emily, so it's a lovely name, it's a nice name. So I've been here today at Parmenion, back to front flip chart up here, and we've had an amazing day learning so much stuff. Wow, amazing. So I've managed to grab Emily, bless her. I'm apologising because I have put her on the spot a little bit, so thank you so much for coming on. And my first crazy question, if you were a biscuit, what kind of biscuit would you be?
I mulled on it. Ginger nut is the
A
first
ginger
one that springs
nut.
to mind, purely because
Love it.
bit of sweet, bit of zing.
Love it. Perfect. So your job title is?
Senior Investment Manager.
Amazing. Okay, so if you were talking to yourself 20 odd years ago, what advice would you give yourself?
20 odd years ago, I just started in markets, frantically trying to learn what was going on, and I think I did have a good grasp of what was happening. It took me a couple of years to get there, but I didn't believe that I did, and so when I disagreed with other people, I wasn't sufficiently ready to voice my opinion. And I think just having had the self-confidence to say what was in my head would have really helped both me and the group.
Brilliant.
So
Wish you'd done that.
Yeah.
So confidence through time has allowed you. And financially speaking, what advice would you have given yourself?
Stick with it, girl. Don't allow yourself to believe that you're wrong and you've got to stop. Just keep asking questions. Stay open to the answers you get back, but don't necessarily believe that your judgment is less good than of those around you.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's interesting, and I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit here, but it's in my head and I can't help it. So were those around you mostly men?
Strangely. Not entirely so. There was a team of about 30, I think 3 of us were female.
Right, okay. Out of how many, sorry?
So about 1 in 10 roughly.
1 in 10, so quite low.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. So really what we're saying then, ladies, if you've got something to say and you feel that it's something you want to say, then say it.
Yeah, absolutely right. But it's difficult when you're just new to something. It's hard to have that self-confidence anyway.
Yeah.
But I think had I had those conversations earlier, it would have allowed me to test out my opinions more. By keeping them inside, you don't get that test, and you need that. You need that to grow in confidence.
Love that. Well, thank you for sharing that.
That's right.
And speaking to your younger self, financially speaking, in terms of your own personal finances, what you know now obviously is quite great in comparison to what you understood 20 years ago.
Okay.
What would you say to yourself 20 years ago?
Well, I think there's been big changes in terms of automatic enrolment. So actually now people are automatically being put into a pension. It's only small to start with, but really look carefully around what you can afford to tuck away. There's somebody who told me something really interesting, which is that if you use the software that ages you, people are much more likely to save for that future self just by having a look at yourself aged. So give it a go, see what you think.
That's really interesting. So if someone's got an app that they know of that take a picture of themselves and it makes you age, can you let me know, because I want to try that out.
I can get someone to send me what you said.
That'd be fantastic. Or maybe I'll put that out on social media and talking to your future self will give it a bit more reality.
That's exactly right.
So you mentioned just there about pensions and auto enrolment. So a lot of those pensions are small amounts, like you say, and let's be honest, they're not often enough in reality, because people are living longer and people are just putting that pension amount away, and then they're not really seeing it grow that much because they're quite small amounts in some examples. If you're on a larger salary and you've got maximum contributions, then that's often healthier. But for most people, they're not enough. I mean, what advice would you, or sort of suggestions and thoughts would you have around those types of investments, particularly that are more passive investing?
I mean, I guess there's some really good apps now that allow you to just drop change into a savings vehicle, and then you could gradually invest that. It depends sort of what products you're using, whether it's worth sort of accumulating a certain amount before you try and invest it. Ours is incredibly flexible. You can drop £100 a month in if you want to. That's a lot for some people, so it just it varies what you're looking to do.
So I use the word passive. Would you like to explain what that means?
Okay, so passive just is essentially buying everything that the market offers. So in a particular type of investment, so whether it's UK investment, UK equities, so companies, shares in companies across the UK stock exchange, you just buy all of them. You don't make a judgment about which one's good value, bad value. You just buy all of them at the weight that the rest of the market thinks is right. And on average, the market's pretty good at judging these things, so you know, it's a reasonable way to go.
Okay, and then in today's markets with such volatility, would you still think that's a good way to go?
Personally, I mean, it's hard to work on a team which spends a lot of their time working out which active manager to use and still believe that passive is the best route. I have to say, I think you've got to have the right active managers, but you've got to have somebody digging those out for you, because it's not easy to say, oh, that's the best one. Exactly.
Okay, great. So we talk about volatility. A couple of times we've mentioned it, and the markets at the moment, and there has been some big drops in the UK market. What sort of things are you seeing within your different teams that things that are being done to help that risk?
Well, so within passive, you can't really change it. You're just buying whatever the market gives you, so you get what you get. One of the things that reduces risk, I guess, is that you haven't got any specific company risk. You've got, because you're exposed to everything, then no one company represents an enormous portion of the whole. So in that sense, you've got diversified risk. It's well spread. So that's the passive sort of approach to risk reduction. In the active space, you've got fund managers who are sitting there judging whether the market is good value at all. So if they judge it isn't, then they'll hold cash. So that pulls back the exposure that you've got. Alternatively, they look for those companies which the market is currently undervaluing very badly and tries to allocate to those, and then they don't have the roll off from the companies that are seriously overvalued. But you know, everybody gets stuff wrong, so who knows? You have a greater degree of variability if you have an active manager than passive manager.
Yes, and I have my own opinions on these subjects, and I think passive is great in certain times of life and for certain vehicles, but it's not for everybody all of the time. And just on that point, and last question, and I'll let you get on with the rest of your day, or what's left of it. I think it might be even raining and dark outside already. Is on the risk side of things and on investing in the UK markets. We're seeing obviously quite a lot of volatility and drops, as we've mentioned, but do you think that's still a good time to invest?
I think it's a time where you would probably want to be drip feeding money in. I'm not sure you'd want to take an entire pot and say, put everything in. But that's probably true whenever. You never know when's a good time to invest. So you know, if somebody gave you a big inheritance, would you want to put it all in today? Perhaps not, but you know, do it every 6 months.
6 months. And how do you see things being in 6 months' time?
How long a piece of string?
Have you got a genie in a bottle anywhere?
That crystal ball, where's it gone?
No, we haven't got that for today. Okay, well, thank you so much for your time.